Hello, I'm Ian and welcome to Somerset News Network. Should Lucy Powell resign? Now, politicians make statements all the time. Some you agree with, some you think they're absolute idiots. But this one's a doozy. She called the issue of rape grooming gangs a dog whistle issue. What it meant was you say these things to a certain demographic of people that understand it and other people haven't got a clue what's going on. That's what dog whistle means. But exactly what she meant by saying dog whistle, I don't know. But it's downgraded the crime of the grooming gangs. Now, I don't care what the colour of their skin is. I don't care what religion they are. They are grooming children under the age of 16. That is paedophilia. They are paedophilia gangs. We have to understand that. We have to get our language right. Now, we know that the establishment, the BBC, and, the Crown Prosecution Service that was headed by Starmer, did not prosecute Jimmy Savile. There are suggestions that Starmer was a lawyer for PI. PI is the Paedophile Information Exchange. So, are they pro-paedophiles? Harriet Harman was a lawyer for PI. I can safely say that. If Starmer was a lawyer for them, it's only the rumour that's going round. Or I wouldn't put it past him. So now we've got Lucy Powell making political plots and blaming the Conservatives for it. Saying, the Conservatives are trying to make a political issue out of it. Is that not what she is doing by calling out, saying it's a dog whistle? One of the fundamental principles of government is to defend the country and keep its people safe within its border. That's the fundamental principle of our Constitution. I'd get out the old Act of Parliament, I found, that said people should be able to abide in peace and come and go in peace without being harassed. It's on one of the old documents I found. And that the country should keep the peace within the country. It's what the government's obligated to do. It's part of our Constitution. I would say having paedophile gangs, which is what they are, these grooming gangs are paedophile gangs, is something the government should be trying to stop. Not saying, it's just a political issue. How dumb can you get? Should Lucy Powell resign? Oh yeah, you bet. But that doesn't mean the person that takes over from her is going to be any better. This is the way that the elite, communist, Marxist, wokist Labour government thinks. It doesn't think, we have to stop the criminal activity of paedophile gangs. The police won't act because they think they've got to keep the peace and they don't want political riots of a certain demographic of the society. A police officer once told me that in Bristol we had a big West Indian community. Down St Paul's it was. and they were drug dealing and in all sorts of stuff. I got on with them great. I didn't have any problems with them. The police would not go in and sort stuff out till somebody was shot. They'd let them carry on. And they'd be up to all sorts of tricks. The mafia-type gangs from Jamaica were coming in and controlling the centre of Bristol. A police officer told me that they had to keep a lid on it. They couldn't go in heavy-handed, otherwise they would be seen as racist. Well, this is what's happening today. Because they're an ethnic minority, which is a big majority now, they're scared of going in because they don't want riots. So the community is threatening to riot if the police arrest paedophiles. Did you see where the dynamics is? You know, they say the lunatics are looking after the asylum. You know, this is what we've got. The crooks are controlling the streets, not the police. And the politicians and the social services are backing them up. If they are pro-paedophiles, if they've been lawyers for the paedophile information exchange, have they got sympathy for paedophiles? Now, in the late 70s, early 80s, I was a local councillor and I was working at the youth club, part-time in the evenings. And I was lobbying RMP against the manifesto of PI, Paedophile Information Exchange. They wanted the age of consent lowered from 16 to 14. They wanted it lower than that, but they didn't think they'd get away with it. This is what's happening with these grooming gangs. They've got these politicians that believe in the paedophile information exchange propaganda. And they're following that, and that's why they allow it to happen. It's wrong, it's evil, they've lost their moral compass, which I keep talking about. It's Sodom and Gomorrah is another expression I've been using. We cannot go on like this. Somebody has to stand up and be counted. Lucy Powell should go because of her ignorance, her attitude. You know, she thinks she can get away with it because the rest of the Labour Party agree with her. If she stays in place, that proves the Labour Party are pro-paedophile. It's simple. There's no other way of saying it. We have to shout out. We have to talk about it. That's why Somerset News Network, I'd like you to make comments and say what you think. What about all these young girls? They've got to be psychologically disturbed by all this. Some of them have got PTSD. A few of them are now beginning to talk. We need lots more of them to talk. They need safe houses, they need places they go, and they need people to look after them. But what have we got? We find that a girl was being groomed. She was in an orphan's house. I don't know the right word to use. In a safe house, allegedly, run by the council. And they were going and picking her up, taking her off, and then dropping her back. So they were allowing the paedophiles to commit the crime. They should be in court along with the grooming gangs. The politicians that downplay paedophilia gangs ought to be in dock with the counsellors, the social services, and the grooming gangs. They all ought to be in the dock together, because they're allowing it to happen and they're not stopping it. Like I said, our Constitution says that people should be able to come and go freely. And they're not. They're grooming these girls. One lawyer, I don't know if he was Crown Prosecution Service or not, said it was the girls' fault. The girls were asking for it. I don't believe that for 1 minute. Another argument was they said the girls wouldn't be believed because this sort of thing doesn't happen. Well, I can assure you it does happen. And I can assure you it is happening. And you, the politicians, have got to start using your powers for good to stop the paedophile gangs, because that's what they are. And by not stopping it, you're involved in it by complicity. Anyway, Ian, Somerset News Network. If you think I'm right, put a comment down below, put the thumbs up, share the video. Let's get everybody talking. And Lucy Powell, you gotta go, love. Sorry. Bye bye.